Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Irish Abroad Show. A really action-packed this week with the Easter weekend, obviously having loads of fixtures and all sorts, and the FA Cup semi-finals on as well. So I'm delighted to be joined by Ger. Ger, how are we this evening?
All good. Basking in the glorious summer-ish sunshine, maybe a bit early to play summer in April, but yeah, making the most of the good weather. As I said, yeah, an eventful week gone by, as I said, with that double header in the English Football League with Easter weekend, Good Friday, Easter Monday. We really are entering squeaky bum time now. Most teams in the EFL have only got 3 games left, 5 or 6 for teams in the Premier League. This is when things really start to rack up and really get interesting. And as we're probably going to discuss throughout the course of the show as well, a couple of permutations already being decided.
Yeah, definitely. But we'll kick off with the decimated Premier League. Anyway, now, it was the only reason it was decimated because of the two FA Cup semi-finals involving Liverpool, City, Crystal Palace, and Chelsea. But there was a couple of bits of action over the course of the last few days, and start off with the weekend anyway. So Shane Long was on for 15 minutes as Southampton beat Arsenal 1-0 at St Mary's. Now, bad result for the Gunners there, but we will talk about a more positive result from last night in the near future anyway. But Shane Long done well when he came on. I was watching this game and he led the line as he usually does, but he was getting stuck into Arsenal, and he has a bit of a decent record against Arsenal anyway, so no surprise there. And Nathan Collins played the full 90 minutes in Burnley's 1-1 draw at West Ham. Burnley be disappointed with that draw, but another 90 minutes for Nathan Collins, Jared.
Yeah, it's the 5th consecutive game he's started where he's been available for Burnley. He obviously missed that Man City game just after international break due to his sending off against Brentford, their last game before that break. But of course, interesting enough, it was an Irishman that stood in for him. So, yeah, so it's good to see he's getting a really kind of good, consistent run at such a crunch, important time for Burnley. Yeah, probably given everything that went on 40 hours before the game with the shock sacking of Sean Dyche, I just can't understand it from a lot of point of views. Mainly just timing, given you're in the squeak of the importance of the season. I know the result against Norwich, but I think Sean Dyche has put enough credit in the bank that even if he got relegated with Burnley, that he's entitled to stay on for next season. But yeah, probably not a bad result considering where West Ham on the table. But when you miss a penalty to go 2-0 up, golden opportunity like that, it's a bit of a disappointment. But obviously a crunch game for them now tonight against Southampton. As you mentioned, there a bit of Irish involvement with Shane Long coming on for the last 17 minutes. Huge blow for Arsenal because the door had opened up after Tottenham's defeat earlier in the day to Brighton with Southampton's recent form. That's their first win since the end of February, 6 games. Arsenal looked like they had gone into complete free fall after losing that game with 3 straight defeats, but somehow shot themselves back in the arm with a very impressive and well-earned victory, and well-deserved victory even against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge last night.
Yeah, definitely. It's mad to say they scored 1 goal in those 3 games, and then they got 4 at home, the European champions last night, albeit probably not their strongest side, and the way they played as well, Chelsea, they weren't at the races at all. The penalty they gave away as well, Aspilicueta, I don't even know how he had an argument with it, but yeah, look, unfortunately not unfortunately, it was a great win, but unfortunately they got the 3 defeats before that, so it's still well in the balance. But look, keeps it interesting, I suppose, but I still don't have much hope because they will have to beat Man United on Saturday. They will have to beat West Ham.
They're never going to get a better chance to beat absolutely shambolic, pathetic Manchester United side.
Yeah. Look, you're the man to talk about that. Liverpool's still in the run for the title race. Obviously, we didn't talk about I didn't see after the City game. How are you feeling about it now? Confident, or it's still the same? Well, it is still the same.
Probably still the same as most pundits who listen to are saying they expect no change, that both teams will probably win the respective corresponding fixtures, and it's hard to disagree. Obviously, we remember that title race from 3 years ago when neither of them flinched in the run-in. The form both sides are on. Like, we talk about, like, City opened the door up for Liverpool in the second half of the season, but when you look back, all they've done is just drawn with Southampton and Crystal Palace away and lost to Tottenham. It's not exactly like as if they've gone into free fall, and they're all 3 results that were well spread out. Never really any stage last night. I didn't obviously watch the game because it wasn't televised and I couldn't find a stream for it, so I just listened to it on TalkSport. Even at half time, you never really kind of felt like City were going to drop points. Like, they got the goal area in the second half. You're still kind of clinging on to a small bit of hope. Well, once it's 1-0, there's always a chance maybe Brighton might nick something from a set piece. Once it went 2-0, I actually stopped listening to the game because I realised there was no point anymore and just watched the Arsenal City match, or Arsenal Chelsea match even. Didn't actually see the Liverpool United game on Tuesday because I was training myself, so just listened to the end of the match and off the ball and watched the highlights and various different clips. But hard not to be impressed by the standard of the goals that Liverpool scored. I think particularly the weight of pass from Mane into Salah for his first goal, and then the deftness of his finish. He made that look very, very easy for his own goal, Mane, to make it 3-0. Yeah, brilliant. Like, because it's been a long time since we've done a league double over Manchester United, despite our dominance over them in terms of who's been the bigger team over the last couple of years. But yeah, still in an FA Cup final as well, Champions League semi-final, where we're going to be favourites, although I don't expect anything easy against a Villarreal team who've been very impressive this year. If you were probably to ask me right now, I think Liverpool can add 2 more trophies. I think there'll probably be 2 more cup competitions. I just struggle to see Chelsea, or not Chelsea. I just struggle to see Man City dropping points, particularly starting with this weekend. Like, the goal difference is a crucial thing. I wouldn't be surprised after this weekend if they're back level and the goal difference are gone ahead of us, because I think, you know yourself, Merseyside derbies can be grudge games. Liverpool might only win that by an odd goal or 2. I think City could definitely open the floodgates against a Watford team who look destined for the Championship now at this stage.
Yeah, definitely a bad defeat for them on Saturday as well. One more bit of information from last night is that Seamus Coleman did play the full 90 minutes for Everton once again, as they got a crucial late equaliser against Leicester. If Burnley win tonight, it's only a point, Ger. Now, I know Everton have improved a lot the last few weeks, but it's still extremely tight down there. And I know without Dyche, it's going to be a lot tougher, but it's extremely, extremely tight.
Yeah, a game Everton probably would have been targeting to win last night. I think Leicester's concentration now was probably drifted towards Europe. But I still think, given the timing of the goal and everything else like that, probably would feel like somewhat of a victory. Everton, and it could be crucial because, like I said, even though you said, "Oh, if Burnley win tonight, it's back to a point," but it was looking like for a while that if Burnley were going to win tonight, they're going to be back 11 points. So it could be massive. I know their fixture list is still a little bit unkind. They got to go to Anfield. I know they won their last season, but in general, they have an awful record there. But yeah, it could be a crucial goal as much as it would be a disappointment. In terms of have Everton really improved much, like apart from take away the Man United game where they were very, very impressive. That still, I can't remember too many occasions they played very well. Now, look, I can't comment on last night's game, to be honest, but from all accounts I heard, it wasn't the most inspiring. But, and like I said, at the end of the day, was it easy for them against United? United didn't look like they tried the leg really, to be honest, there on that game. But look, like I said, could be the point. You never know. It could be the points in the season, that last minute goal, that could be the difference between Everton staying up and going down.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and as you mentioned, Man United in free fall, but they usually do find a way to perform against Arsenal, even though they look like all hope is lost. But look, we'll move on anyway. Do you want to do the first Good Friday Championship, or do you want to do the midweek or the Monday just gone? Whatever you feel.
I'll do Good Friday, and then you can do Easter Monday and Tuesday night. So starting with
Right.
Good Friday, Cyrus Christie claims an assist in Swansea's 1-1 draw with Barnsley. Michael Obafemi also started this game for the Swans, while Ryan Manning came off the bench. Sean McLaughlin of Hull City and Joel Bagan and Mark McGuinness of Cardiff City all started as the Tigers bet the Bluebirds 2-1 at home, so it was a good win there for Sean McLaughlin Chargers. Darrell O'Shea made just his second start for West Brom since returning from that injury at the start of the season. I think it was his first as well in 5 or 6 weeks. As the Baggies bet Blackpool 2-1 at home. Jason Malumbi and Callum Robinson also started this game as well for Steve Bruce's side. John Egan got an assist for Sheffield United. He's claimed a few of them in recent weeks, all right, but it still wasn't enough as the Blades lost 2-1 away to Reading, or at home to Reading even, who've been in flying form in recent weeks if they look like they've done enough to secure their championship status. Enda Stevens and Conor Horan also started this game for the Blades. Sean Maguire started for Preston for the first time since early January as they drew 1-1 at home against Millwall. Adam Brown and Greg Cunningham also started for the home side there, but Dan McNamara played every second for the away side. Sam Szmodics started the comeback for Peterborough in their 2-1 victory against free-falling Blackburn. He scored the goal that made it 1-1. Late on that game, it was 2 late goals. His 4th goal of the season. Peterborough looked dead and buried a couple of weeks ago. They're the only team now left who still have a chance of getting out of the bottom 3, as we'll touch on. Derby and Barnsley both consigned to League 1 next season. Jack Taylor, Peterborough, and Darrell Lennon Blackburn also played in this game. Mark Travers kept his second consecutive clean sheet as Bournemouth drew 0-0 at home against Middlesbrough. Aaron Connolly was substituting this game for the away side in the second half. Scott Hogan was part of the Birmingham City side that lost a 6-goal thriller to fellow Midland rivals Coventry City 4-2 at home. Kieran Westwood and Jimmy Dunn were part of the QPR side that came twice from behind to draw 2-2 with Huddersfield away from home. The damaging result there for the home side in terms of automatic promotion. And Aaron Cash and Jason Knight both played 90 minutes, while Fessy Episodi came off in 19 minutes. As Derby pulled off somewhat of a surprise upset, more than somewhat, a big upset, in delaying Fulham's promotion party and keeping their relegation hopes alive with a 2-1 victory at Pride Park on Friday night. But you're going to touch on, Paul, keeping them survival hopes alive, only stayed intact for 72 hours.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll start off with that one on Easter Monday. QPR, Jimmy Dunn's QPR did beat Derby County 1-0, consigning Derby to relegation. Jason Knight, Aaron Cashin also played in that game. So it's sad for Derby. I mean, you feel more sad for the players and the manager over the club, really, to be honest, because I think the club had put themselves in the situation and it's wasn't a nice way. Maybe it was a bit harsh to take as much points off them as that, but I mean, the players can be proud and Rooney can be proud as well. I mean, they were fantastic, and you look at their record against the top six this year, it's fantastic. But yeah, unfortunately they're down, but I know Fessy Episodi is also going off to Udinese as well. I did hear the other week that Rooney only has 3 players signed up for next season so far on Monday Night Football. So it's going to be a tough job, but we shall see, and we shall see whether some of those Irish lads are involved there as well. Obviously, Fessy won't be. But from Derby, we go to Barnsley, who were also relegated, and they were relegated by Peterborough at Oakwell on Monday. A Sam Szmodics assist and a Jack Taylor goal saw Peterborough win 2-0 on Monday, keeping their slim hopes alive. But unfortunately, it looks like a very big task, and I think they need a lot of results to go their way. And with Reading playing how well they are at the minute, I don't think that looks possible, unfortunately, for the lads. But they've given themselves hope, and fair play to them on that. There's a clean sheet for Jack Bonham as Stoke beat Darragh Lenihan's Blackburn 1-0. Blackburn, who are have just collapsed really, and and there's no hope playoffs really now, to be honest. Richard Keogh and Scott Hogan both. Oh, right, go on.
Yeah, I was just saying, even there, like in terms of Blackburn, like to back up how much of a free fall we're talking about. This was a side that was in the automatic promotions places at Christmas. They've won 2 of their last 15 games. They've only actually even won 4 league games this calendar year. And you think about it, it's been the most topsy-turvy season because their season was in danger of collapsing back in November when they suffered, what can be a very mentally frail team 7-0 home defeat against Fulham. Then when they won that unbelievable run to go up second, and now they've just utterly hit the wall. I know you're saying they need a miracle for the playoffs. You still look at the table, they're still somewhat in with a decent mathematical chance, only 3 points off it, but not the way they're playing and with other teams around them. I think it's very, very unlikely.
Yeah, and it looks like it's only going to be one place available to them now, because I think the 3rd, 4th, 5th have gone a bit further on in the last couple of days, whereas I think Sheffield United, they only got a point in their last 2, so that's why it's still open with them, and they're the ones in 6th. But we shall see, and it would be an interesting last 3 or 4 or 5 games for the several teams anyway. Where was I? Scott Hogan and Richard Keogh both played in Blackpool's 6-1 rout of Birmingham City. Birmingham, who, I mean, if they didn't get as many points as they did at the start of the season, would have probably been in trouble, because every second week they're being hammered, and they were 2-0 up on Friday as well, like you mentioned, and got pegged back 4-2 by rivals Coventry City. Peter Kioso got 30 minutes as Luton beat Cardiff 1-0, probably securing their playoff spot now, Luton, after 2 very, very impressive wins in the last couple of days. Joel Bagan played in that for Cardiff as well. Dan McNamara helped Millwall beat Sean McLaughlin's Hull 2-1. That keeps Millwall in with the shout, sneaking into the playoffs as well. It is very tight for that 6th spot at the minute. Michael Obafemi did grab a goal, and there was an assist for Cyrus Christie on Monday, but Swansea won't be happy with this. They let slip a 4-1 lead against Reading, and Reading that basically saved Reading now. But I know Peterborough can still stay up, but I mean, it relegated 2 of the teams down there. That last-minute goal from the same fella who got the last-minute winner against Sheffield United on Friday as well. So that's mad stuff. And Ryan Manning was also playing in that game as well. There was a couple of other games on Monday evening. I didn't get around to having a look at them, but I did see Darragh O'Shea playing for West Brom on Monday evening. I don't know if any of the other lads did, but they were hammered by Nottingham Forest. An early red card kind of killed them, to be fair. And I assume Enda Stevens and John Egan were playing against Bristol City for Sheffield United in that 1-1 draw as well. Unfortunately, I was out at Talca Park, so I didn't even get a chance to look at it. And I actually forgot to look at the research for them as well. You don't know if they played at all, Ger, did you?
They did, yeah. I have it here. So John Egan and Enda Stevens both started that game, while Conor Horahan came on as sub. Remember, it wasn't really a good weekend for the Yorkshire club. Just 1 point from the 2 games, a 1-1 draw against the Bristol City team, who But a bit like Birmingham, Blackpool, they've really had feck all to play for the last kind of couple of weeks. That was a bad result. Yeah, Darrell O'Shea did start for the second time in 3 days, and Jason Lumby came on for West Brom. Their playoff hopes are now definitely all but over. I think they're 6 points behind with only 9 to play for against the Nottingham Forest team, who look very, very good to secure a playoff place and possibly still keep their slim automatic promotion hopes alive that you backed them for a couple of weeks ago. But just even going back to the Derby thing, something that I noticed on social media on Tuesday, and it did not go down well, surprisingly, with both sets of fans, but understandably with a lot of Derby fans, was Jeff Hendrick retweeting QPR's official tweet, and we're kind of like the fist up emoji and 3 points. And I just thought, seriously, Jeff, okay, I know maybe things mightn't have ended as best as you liked with Derby, but it's the club where you start your career that gave you the opportunity. You had a lot of good times, help you break onto the international scene, help you establish a name for yourself. And like, he's not even involved in the QPR matchday squad over the last kind of couple of weeks. I don't know, maybe it's because of injury. I haven't seen anything suggest that it is. I've seen a lot of backlash from QPR fans saying as well, like, what are you doing this for? You've been utterly useless. Their words now, since you came. Just thought, could have left it out. I think have a bit of respect for your former employers.
Yeah, probably. No, I did see this. I didn't look into it, but I mean, it doesn't look great, to be honest. It doesn't look great. But again, I suppose you probably really can't post anything online at all anymore. Now, I'm not backing him up at all. He shouldn't have done it, but it's just, I mean, that could have been anyone, and they would have been hopped on, really, you know. So it's yeah, probably not the best idea from Jeff there, to be honest. But look, hopefully he gets back from whatever. Yeah, whatever. He's not in the squad at the minute, or he's injured, and he gets back in and he gets fired, and you know. But it's not great. No, it's not great. The club who gave him his chances, well, and the club he nearly got promoted with too. So
yeah, look, it probably depends. Maybe it's if you look into it a little bit more. Maybe Jeff Hendrick does that for every QPR game.
Yeah.
You look at it, think like QPR. I think Matt Maskey are still in a chance to play off, realistically speaking. It's probably kind of gone. And also, as well, I would kind of back up, maybe not to the extent of the use of words that some QPR fans use, but you'd have to say, considering he's dropped down from the Premier League and he's been there for numerous years now and regular with Burnley over the last couple of seasons, the loan spell hasn't really gone well for one reason or another. Like, even when he was in matchday squads, more often than not, it was just substitute appearances, very little kind of starts. It's disappointing because we kind of thought that, like, this was the type of move, drop down level, regular football, we'll see more of the Jeff Hendrick we've seen in the green shirts since Stephen Kenny took over, and he'd be much sharper and better for Ireland. Now, it didn't seem to affect him too much against Belgium, but maybe it could be a slight issue long term going into possibly the Nations League games come up in a couple of weeks' time, but probably more so, I'm thinking, to this time next year when the Euros start, the qualifiers start. Now, look, 12 months is a massively long time in football. He could have very well, more than likely, found a new permanent club at that stage and could have settled in nicely.
Yeah, definitely. Who knows anyway? But hopefully he gets back firing, because he's been off form for a good few years now anyway, that's for sure. League One now, do you want to do Friday, or will I do Friday?
I don't have anything for League Two, so I can kind of run through League One, and if you want to do like all of League One, you can then do with all of League Two. Now, I don't have Tuesday night, so you can probably fill in if you got anything from there. So
yeah, of course, no problem. That's fine, man. Work away.
So on Good Friday, so 6 minutes after we introduced, Ronan Curtis, bagged the winner for Portsmouth in their 3-2 win over Lincoln. So a fairly entertaining game there at Fratton Park. That was his 8th goal of the season, 6th in the league. Under 19 international Keane Hayes scored in Fleetwood's 3-2 defeat to Oxford, his first goal of the season. So a lot of high scoring games in League One on Friday. Kieran Sadler got the winner for Bolton in their 2-1 victory over Doncaster Rovers away. That's his third goal since joining from Rotherham back in January. And Odubeko, is that the correct pronunciation?
Odubeko, is it?
Odubeko, yeah. Sorry. He actually got his maiden goal for Doncaster in this contest. Well, unfortunately, it didn't prove to be enough. Sean Long, another former Ireland under-21 international, of course, cousin of Shane Long. He got an assist in Cheltenham's 2-2 draw with Gillingham. Owen Fitzpatrick from Clondalkin, if you're listening, I'm sure you're delighted to see me give a shout out to Sean Long. Troy Parrott was once again the score sheet, but it wasn't enough for NK Dongs as they lost 3-2 to Sheffield Wednesday, damaging defeat in their automatic promotion chase. That's now 9 goals in total this season for Troy in all competitions, and 13 contributions between goals and assists in the league. So not a bad return. Certainly a lot more encouraging figures than we've seen from maybe last season, even when we went dropped down to League One to Ipswich after the loan move to Millwall. And then just from Easter Monday, Odubeko made 2 goals in 2 games with Doncaster. This time they drew 3-3 with Shrewsbury. I'm not sure the situation is with Doncaster. I know they've been struggling all season. Are they confirmed as relegated now, Paul, or are they still in with a mathematical chance?
I think they've won less game than above them. So I think if they lose, if whoever is above them lose, and then I don't know when the game is, but if they lose that and say Doncaster win their last 2, there might be a chance or something. But
yeah,
I'm not sure. I didn't hear anything about them being relegated because I heard Scunthorpe got relegated, and I heard the 2 teams in the Championship, but nothing was said about League One yet, besides Crewe. But that was a few weeks ago. But yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't hear it, and I don't think so. Anyway, probably this weekend, maybe. I think.
And they actually have been on a little bit of revival because it was actually them that bet Crewe the weekend before last to relegate them. So that's 7 points from the last 3 games I know of. Now they could have played midweek last week. I don't think they actually did though. Ronan Curtis followed on for getting a goal on Friday, but this time getting an assist as Portsmouth drew 1-1 away to Morecambe. And Anthony Scully got his 11th goal of the league season. He's now equalled his tally from last season, which is pretty impressive. Still with a couple of games to go, so hopefully he'll beat that. Good sign of encouragement from the young lad, up to 15 goals this season. As Lincoln recovered from losing 3-2, as I mentioned, Portsmouth good fight to beat Cheltenham 3-0 on Saturday. Disappointing enough season for them, considering they were 90 minutes away from the championship last season, haven't really featured in the shake-up. But from an individual point of view, it's definitely been progression and kicking on from where Anthony Scully is concerned.
Yeah, definitely. I think when he came back from injury, he kind of helped them get back into a bit of form because they were struggling over the November, December, January period. Anyway, that's for sure. But fair play to him. He's had a great season. I think he's been unlucky not to be called up at least once and not get a cap because he was one of the form players for a long time during this season, and a lot of other lads got in ahead of him as well. But as we know, with Ireland squads, that's generally not how it works, being in form, and with a lot of international squads as well. So that's one thing, and hopefully he keeps it going. Maybe you get an opportunity in the summer, like you mentioned. Just a couple more things from Tuesday evening as well. Obviously, there was games spread out across the weekend because of live TV coverage, etc. So Will Keane got another double for Wigan. He's now the joint top scorer in League One with 23 goals as they drew 2-2 with Ipswich Town. They're still 4 points clear of Rotherham and MK Dons. MK Dons were beaten again, interestingly, by Luke McNally's Oxford, who kept their playoff hopes alive. He helped them keep a clean sheet. And Mark Sykes, Troy Parrott, Warren O'Hara, and Connor Coventry all played in that game as well. So a bit of a blip for MK Dons. But I mean, Wigan lost on Saturday as well against Cambridge. Rotherham won on Saturday, but they lost again during the week. So it's still kind of as you were. There's I think Wigan are 4 points clear. So look, still plenty to play for. Always an interesting league, and look, I mean, the end of the season is great. It gets very, very sweaty, and that's what we like, unless it's involving our own teams. Anyway, we can move on into League Two anyway. So I'll start with the weekend. Obviously, there's not much. The only reason I put John Rooney in this is because he decided he wanted to declare for Ireland. Now, he never got a cap, but there is stats there. So he scored and grabbed an assist, and there was a clean sheet for Niall Callaghan in Barrow's 4-0 win over league leaders Forest Green. So big win there for Barrow, who've been struggling at the opposite end of the table there. There was an assist for Aaron Drinnan in Leighton Orient's 3-0 win against already relegated Scunthorpe, which that's mad as well that they're gone into the conference now. They were in the Championship not too long ago with Gary Hooper playing for them, so definitely. And just a bit of non-league information as well. Gavin Hullan, who left Hartlepool in January, February time, he's gone to Grimsby now, and he scored the winner for Grimsby against Stockport, who are top of the conference at the minute. So Paddy Madden obviously playing for them as well. So a disappointing result there for them. And on to Easter Monday, Jimmy Keohane and Owen O'Connell scored late as Rochdale came from behind to beat Hartlepool 2-1. Jeff Stellingby disappointed with that one. There was another assist for John Rooney in Barrow's 2-2 draw with Salford City. They were 2-1 up towards the end of that as well. And another bit of non-league information. So Stockport, after losing on Friday, won with a last-minute winner from Paddy Madden on Easter Monday. And that gives them, I think, they're 4 or 5 points clear. Ryan Reynolds Wrexham. So, look, still plenty to play. That league is mental as well. The fact that there's one automatic promotion place and 6 playoff spots. It's just that's absolute. It's kind of unfair because you could finish second with 90 plus points, and it's just it's unfair. I know it's the way they do it, but like, look,
Probably need
listen,
to bring in 3 relegation places from League Two.
yeah, probably, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Two is not enough. Yeah, it's two. Yeah, it is two. Yeah,
Two,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Or just the playoffs, I think, yeah, like bringing it all the way down to 7th place, I think is a bit much. Like, and they're both
Mm,
one-legged ties as well. Like, so you have, I suppose, probably the teams that finish third and finish in second, probably slight advantage to get a buy into the next round. Like, so look, maybe they're looking from the point of view that it, gives the fact that there's only 2 automatic promotion spots, create a little bit more kind of involvement in the promotion race, a little bit more drama and excitement. I suppose is also maybe another way of looking at it. But
true.
then again, it's weird. There's 4 relegation places from the conference or the National League, whatever it's called. Now, you do also have to remember there are 2 leagues as such feeding into that in terms of National League North, National League South. But look, I'm just going to stop talking about the English football pyramid because I'll probably be here until the start of next season.
Definitely. There's one thing I did hear. If Oldham go down, they'll be the first team to have played in the Premier League to go
All
down to
right.
the non-league. Now, not before the Premier League, but the Premier League. So from
Since
19,
1992, basically, yeah.
yeah, that's
That's going
mental.
to,
They're,
yeah.
yeah,
If
yeah,
they go down,
and
that'll be a great public question in a couple of years to come.
yeah. I heard the other day that'd be mental as well. Now, I've never
Yeah.
considered Oldham a big club since I've been into football, but they're definitely bigger than the likes of Salford and Barrow. And I mean, listen, I know that's how it goes, and they've had their troubles with the owners and financial trouble and stuff like that. But it would be a bit of a disaster. But look, we shall see. There's still 3 games left, so it shall be an
Yeah.
interesting end. There's only a brief bit from Scotland. Do you want to do that, and then I can do
Yeah,
Europe? Or
I only
yeah,
have Scotland and the rest of Europe, so I can breeze through them 2 in a couple of minutes, and then you can finish us off with your 2 favorite franchise leagues in the world.
fantastic. Looking forward to it. Done a thorough investigation this week,
I done
Ger.
that on
So
purpose, so that's why as well. So,
yes, yes,
yeah,
yes. I'm happy. I'm happy to do it.
as I mentioned, not a lot to get through in Scotland because it was Cup semi-final weekend last weekend and didn't actually play any of the Premier Division games. So just one bit of information to tell you from that really was Aaron McAniff came on just before halftime, about 5 or 6 minutes before halftime, in Hearts' 2-1 victory over Edinburgh rivals Hibs in the Scottish Cup semi-final. Jake Doyle-Hayes played the entire game for Hibs, disappointment for them. No Irish involvement in the semi-final as Rangers effective revenge on Celtic. Can they complete a treble? Who would have thought we would have been saying that this time last week, or certainly a cup double at least. Anyway, they're into the Scottish Cup final after beating Celtic. Came from behind 2-1 after extra time. James McCarthy was the only Irish involvement in the match day squad, but he didn't come on that game for Celtic. So yeah, two clubs. I don't think there'll be much Irish viewership for this game, given their 2 clubs' backgrounds. I don't think I really need to say much more there. And then I just have one bit of news from the Scottish Championship. Former Ireland under-21 international Aaron Doran got an assist in Inverness' 2-1 win against Kilmarnock. And similar situation here to what we have in the National League we're talking about there. 1 automatic promotion spot. I think then they create 4, 5 is it playoff spots. Like Inverness are looking likely to make a playoff quarter final. I think against the team that finishes 4th. Whoever wins that then plays the team I think that finishes 2nd. And then whoever wins that plays the team that finishes 11th in the Scottish Premiership. Now that is complicated. But
Yes,
although it's not too dissimilar to our own structure here in the League of Ireland.
Yes, definitely. And I know Dundee came up from that last year, relegating Kilmarnock. So again, do you really deserve a chance if you finish second bottom? I don't think so, personally. I think it's like, God, you could finish second bottom by like a point on the last game of the season. You know,
Yeah,
I know it
but like
creates drama, but it's you don't really deserve a chance. Like,
yeah.
you know,
You could
that's
finish
yeah,
18th in the Premier League by one. It's just I think like if you finish second, you've had a better season than a team that's finished second bottom. Like you should be rewarded for success anyway. I know
yeah.
you're up against time to get going for training. I want to get out and enjoy the sunshine before the sun goes down as well. So just run through the rest of Europe. In Belgium, heartbreak for Josh Cullen and Anderlecht as they lost the Belgian Cup final 1-0 to Ghent on Monday. Also disappointment for Graham Carey and his CSK Sofia side as their league ambitions, well, they were pretty much dead, but they're now confirmed as OVER as they drew 0-0 with city neighbours Lesia. I think that's how you pronounce it. On Sunday,
isn't it?
Levski. He picked up a yellow card in that game. That result, along with Ludogorets' 4-1 victory over Salvia Sofia, sees Ludogorets crowned champions with 4 games to spare. They've now moved 14 points above, so they can't be caught. I'm not sure if CSKA Sevilla still have work to do to secure European football, but they probably should go on to at least claim that honour. Anyway, Conor Noss was an unused substitution in Borussia Mönchengladbach's 3-1 defeat to Cologne in the Bundesliga on Saturday. Ryan Johansson was also an unused substitute as Fortuna Sittard won the massive relegation 6-pointer 3-0 against Sparta Rotterdam to move themselves clear of any of the danger zones. And again, that result has now actually moved them out and above the relegation playoff spot that Sparta Rotterdam have moved into. So it does seem to be actually a reasonably common enough trend in a lot of European leagues. In fact, the Bundesliga, I think, as well, for a team that finishes 16th, go into a relegation playoff. Without bragging on too much, top of my head, I can only really think of Italy, Spain, and England, and I can't even say with certainty if France don't have a relegation.
France brought one in recent years, so 18.
There you go.
18,
so it's becoming more of a common trend. Before you know it, there'll be no relegation, and there'll be just franchise leagues all over, and Paul Tierney would probably give up watching football and take up rugby. And finally, Saka Al-Basedi played his first. Saka Al-Basedi played his first 90 minutes of the season as AIK recorded just their second win of the new campaign, beating Farsberg 1-0 at home. It is only their 4th game, so it's 2 wins from 2, so 50% ratio, not the end of the world at this early stage. Remember, their season only started there the first weekend in April.
Yeah, definitely. Just on that relegation playoff in Germany, if you want to look at a sweaty league, look at Bundesliga 2, the second division. Schalke, Werder Bremen, and Hamburg all in it. Hamburg look like they're not going to come up again after being the cockiest team in Germany with their clock. Now, still 3rd year in a row, also lost the cup semi-final the other week. And Schalke, that league table just swaps every day, because the way they do it is they have like 2 matches on a Friday at the same time, 3 on a Saturday at the same time.
That's right, yeah.
And then, and it's just mental. And they keep swapping between them. When I was over there, my girlfriend wasn't watching, but I was watching it. But I just thought it was mad. It was like the end of the season, in the middle of the season. It was crazy. But and then so someone is going to be disappointed with a promotion playoff spot there, because it's so tight. I think there's about 2 points between about 6 teams. So it's just mental. And look, good to see anyway. Bit of entertainment. Not much different from the Championship really, besides Fulham running away with it. But also congratulations to Fulham on your relegation for next year as well. May I just say that?
And congratulations on once again winning the Championship for 2024.
Yes, definitely has to be said. And we shall move on to the Franchise League. So in America, now thanks to Paul Nealon for this, I'd actually stopped looking for Derek Williams because I thought he was injured. But he's been back in the side the last 2 weeks, and he helped LA Galaxy keep a clean sheet in their 0-0 draw with Chicago Fire on the weekend. So good to see Derek back in, and obviously very highly rated by the LA Galaxy men as well. Shane O'Neill helped Toronto to a 2-1 win over Philadelphia Union. John Gallagher played 56 minutes, interestingly, at left back as Austin beat DC United 3-2. And Jake Mulroney was a late sub in Atlanta's 0-0 draw with FC Cincinnati. I'm so used to saying Atalanta that I keep going for it.
Yeah, it's a tongue twister. It's a tough one.
Yes, it's very, very tough. But and then finally, Jay O'Shea was booked in Brisbane Roar's 2-1 defeat to MacArthur on the weekend. So disappointing defeat for Brisbane Roar again. And actually the quietest Jay has been in the last few weeks, because he's at least got a goal and an assist in the last few weeks. So he'll be disappointed with that. But look, they've battled back from where they were anyway, that's for sure. Brilliant.
That's us done for another week. We're both saying off air. We might both be taking a break for next week. Paul definitely is. He's heading to the darts. And that hit a light bulb in my head, because I'm going up to Dublin next Thursday evening. I'm flying out from Dublin Airport next Friday morning. So I think I might join you. You know what, Paul? We might actually we could do it live in the Three Arena beforehand. Like the microphones, equipment, the cameras, everything is going to be set up. Like, sure, why not? Like,
yeah, why don't we just use it? It doesn't start till 7, so we can do it at 6 on the beer. That'll be a great idea.
Oh, it's the dart start at 7, right? That'll make it tough to get up from Tipperary in 2 hours. But sure, look, I'll try my best.
But sure, you don't have to get in for the first game. That's usually the worst one anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, folks. And Ger, thanks very much. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll have the video up on all platforms later in the evening. And thanks very much for watching, guys.
Cheers, Paul. Thanks to everyone else as well.
Good luck.